of the week.
Yeah, very precise. The throws maybe as accurate as he's been in some time.
Yeah, pretty locked in here, and I think he feels like he can get it done again in this one, too.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Let's get a quick look at the Saints offense.
And running back Mark Ingram is coming into his own as a runner in the NFL. Over 1,000 yards each the last 2 seasons. And now he's teaming with Alvin Kamara in a backfield where both of them can run the football effectively and both of them can catch out of the backfield as well.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Ready. You ready?
On 2nd down, Kamara. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7.
Ready. Yellow lady.
From the gun, it's Breeze. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They'll be led out by the Red Rifle. From TCU, it's Andy Dalton.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it, in the middle of the schedule. The first carry for the 2nd-year man, Joe Mixon. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
Dalton, 1st and 10. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. 23 yards on the play.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
Yeah,
moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Dumps it off to Mixon. No gain, and it's 2nd down. In the backfield out of the starting group, you have to look out for Giovanni Bernard.
And you have to make sure you're ready to hit the spin button with this guy. Awfully exciting in the open field.
Completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Andy Dalton. And the grab by Cross. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there for Cincinnati. And even 40 yards. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, get stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Touchdown, Bengals! Picking up where they left off before the open week that they had last week as they won going into that, and no signs of being stale.
No, and that's really big for them because there's a trust factor that goes into this, because what often happens, if you win the game before your open week, you usually get more time off. But if you win the game before the open week, get more time off, and don't play well the next time out, that goes away. So they're making a statement that they like that time off.
Bullock out now to kick this one away. The return man is Hill. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now, earlier, Charles, we were talking about Drew Brees and all he has accomplished so far this season with the records that he's broken. But let's take a look at New Orleans as a whole. 5-game win streak. Remember that surprising Week 1 loss? All of a sudden, they're 5-1.
Man, you're talking about that Week 1 loss to Tampa Bay, which was an early darling, and they fell off the pace before winning this past weekend. But you're exactly right about it. 5-game winning streak, that's wonderful. But they did have their struggles. Cleveland, wasn't easy to win that one. This week, beneficiaries of a missed point after touchdown. So they've had to do it the hard way, and it doesn't get easier. They're at Minnesota next week. Then they're home against the best team in the league, the Los Angeles Rams. They win these, they've earned them.
Brees leaves this one with Kamara. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Throwing now is Brees. And Watson has it right side. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first thanks to a flashy little spin move. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a 1st down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a 1st down. Brees hands to Ingram. And some room to work. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
I can't help but laugh. And the only reason is anytime the backup breaks a big one like that, he's going to be hard to deal with in film, wanting to know why he's not getting starters carries.
That's what he's thinking. Great carry there. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Ingram again, a 1st down carry. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Sean Williams that time in on the stop.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
There is no doubt that Geno Atkins is really strong and stout at the point of attack. suddenness, the ability to make plays, to be in one spot, and then he's gone and into the offensive backfield. He's a heck of a player.
And they're a big TFL, tackle for loss.
Hard to believe that his father, Gene Atkins, was an NFL defensive back. Has bred this big defensive tackle.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
Cincinnati Bengals, they're coming off what was maybe believed to be a potential playoff preview when they faced the Kansas City Chiefs in Week 7, but this was all about the Chiefs. The Bengals only put up 10 points and lost by 35, Charles, in that Sunday night game.
And sometimes the quarterback gets way too much attention. Not Patrick Mahomes, who's off to a sensational start. I'm talking about Andy Dalton for Cincinnati, because we grade them almost like starting pitchers. But he is 0-6 in his career in Sunday night games. And now Cincinnati has given up first place in their division. Pittsburgh sat at home on their open week and moved into first place by virtue of the Bengals' loss.
And the Bengals 4-3. They do come back home next week for Tampa Bay. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Despite only needing one, Dalton to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Demario Davis, got a hand in to break that one up.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Punting now is Huber as he sends it away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. New Orleans coming back out onto the field here, Charles, but let's discuss Drew Brees. We, of course, talked about him in great length last week when he became the league's all-time leading passer. Well, this last week, he connected on career touchdown pass number 500 in that one-point victory against Baltimore.
Yeah, he's now beaten all 32 teams in the NFL. Only Brett Favre had done that prior to. And how about this? I saw the president of the Pro Football Hall of Fame on Sunday, and he was there for a different reason. But I said, hey, with Drew Brees breaking all these records, is there enough space that you can get all this stuff in for him? He just said he keeps breaking them, but build him his own wing.
And as Purdue Boilermakers beat Ohio State, he was pumped after that. Good weekend for Drew Brees.
Ready?
Now Brees on the bootleg. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a third down.
Usually the offense has an answer to anything a defense throws at them, including a safety valve. And that's what they did on that play. They went there, but the defense still made an excellent play and held them to no gain.
The Saints on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Dancing away at the 35. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Here's Dalton. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think